All right, gang, welcome back. Welcome back to another Checo Forex live stream. I hope everybody had a fantastic day today. Markets were dropping today, so you can see here on the Nasdaq, just the 1 hour chart. But yeah, let's dive in right away and do our markups here, and get ready. We got a candle closures in about 25 minutes, so let's see what happens here. All right, let's take a look here. Let me actually jump to the daily time frame really quick. This is what I want to point out. We still have this gap to fill here. We gapped up yesterday, and then now we've been coming down. And it's possible that we might fill this gap right here in this area. But let's just kind of look at the whole chart here. So, all right, let's see if we can. Yeah, so we have the. This was one of the things I wanted to point out. We have this trend line here. Let's just mark it up. This is where we kind of bottomed out here. All right. So this is that trend line. See, so we kissed the low here. We had this low here, but I'm just marking it off from this swing low here, and now we've been kind of trending upwards now. So now that we made this high here, you know, if you want to take this trend line now, once we made this low here, we jump. But if you drag it up this way, look at this. We clearly broke that trend line from here. Let's look at this. So look at this. We made a low here, come up, make a low here. Then we just kind of started rallying up, tapped right here, came up, tapped here, broke out, made a new all-time high. And now this week, I think late last week, we broke below this trend line here, and we've been trending down. Now, a lot of times, you know, what can happen in the markets is we can come back and retest the scene of the crime, right? So, you know, many times we get this breakout like this, then we'll come back and test the level that was broken, the trend line here. And then once we tap that, then we can come back and then take out the lows, prior lows. I don't know if that's gonna happen based on, you know, economic news and things like that. So I think that we're getting a lot of news that's gonna start pushing indices downwards, right? But with that said, what I see here, let me delete this. I want to drop it down to the power time frame. I was talking to someone just now about this. I don't know if Shorty's on stream or not, but I started looking at the 4 hour time frame with him, and I noticed one thing, right? And I was explaining to him I like to keep things a little simple. So let's look at this. Let me stretch it out a bit. So look at this pattern, right? So we started getting the drop like this, right? So we get this drop down. And now we are forming this flag pattern, a bearish flag pattern, right? You can clearly see it here. So this here is a bearish flag pattern. So we started dropping. Look, it's pretty much a straight shot down. You know, we got some little corrections here. So we got the impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, and so on and so forth, all the way down here. Now we're starting to kind of trend upwards here, right? So that creates that little flag pattern. It's a bearish consolidation at this point. So my expectation is, right, now we're already coming down here, but we can tap the bottom of the bear flag, you know, make a little bit of a push up, maybe retest the high here, come down. But what I expect is for this flag to break and then have the continuation to the downside. That's the pattern I see on the Nasdaq, and I'm ready for it, right? That's what I see happening in the next couple of days, right? But let's drop it to the 1 hour. On my signals platform, we caught this drop here. Once we got this bearish close, we caught the sell at the break of support here, and we've been holding that. Well, runners, we took partials already on that trade. My target is the gap fill, right? So we have this gap fill here, and right here, boom, right? And look how close we came. We were about 33 pips away from the gap fill, but kind of pushing up here. But look at this bearish move. I mean, the market tanked today. So the analysis behind the trade today in my platform was waiting for that breakout, right? So once we were up here, when we started coming down, once this candle started ripping down, I didn't take that sell because it was such an impulsive move. But we failed to break this support level here. And when the next candle opened, we started kind of rallying upwards. I'm like, well, this thing might reverse. But I said, if we get a bearish closure, once it started pulling down and pulling up, I said, if we close below, we're going to wait for a top wick on the next candle and then take the entry there. And yeah, that's exactly what we did. So if you notice, once we got the closure below this support level, which is this yellow line here, you can see how the candle closed below there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Right, there we go, right here. Then the next candle, right? What it does about 85% of the time is comes up, makes a top wick, and when it flips and takes out the lows of the previous candle, right? We took our entry right here. And we caught all of this. And I mean, I'm still holding runners on this for the take profit, which I have it at about 19,800 here. So we came very close, but it's kind of pulling back up a little bit. But there's a key level here, minor resistance, right? Right here. So, once we came down here, we gapped down, came back, filled the gap immediately. And now we're kind of trickling back up here on the NASDAQ, and we might kiss this level here and then continue down. That's my expectation. But if we do get a closure above here, we might come and test the level up here that we broke earlier. So it might be a bigger push. There's a fair value gap here too in that middle. Another thing I was talking about here. So here, wait, where is it? Right there. We'll just move it over a little bit. A little bit smaller. There we go. And right there. All right. So there's a fair value gap right here. So it's possible as well, right, to come back and test that part there. So we might come up and tap right into that level there. And then we can continue to drive down and fill the gap. So a lot of possibilities, right? But we have to wait for candles to close to get that indication. If we do close above this price right here, above this minor resistance, it's possible we'll come and tap into this fair value gap here and then continue to move down. So that's what I'm expecting. All right. All right, let's take a look at gold and see how we're looking here. All right, gold. Wow. Again, caught a sell from up here. Let me mark these levels up first, because it's a lot going on in the markets right now. There's a lot of consolidation and all this other stuff. All right, so this is gold right here. We're in this nasty range. I mean, look at this chop. I mean, it's disgusting, to be honest with you. It's terrible. But, looking at this, we're in this chop here. But when we pushed up and tapped the level here at 3,030, I took a sell here in my signals platform. And we caught this whole drop all the way down here. We took partials down here, but I'm holding a small runner now. We're pulling back, but we're still well in profit. And let's see. Now, this candle currently doesn't have a bottom wick on the 1 hour. We got a 4-hour candle opening up in about 16 minutes. So not sure if this is going to want to drive up. I mean, we might retest this level right up here again. I mean, we're still ranging in here until we break out of this level here. Unless we break this low and get a closure below or possible closure above, we have a wick to fill up here. So, we can grab liquidity up here and then drive down. So I would love to take the sells from up here because I'm still super bearish on gold. And I think that there's a lot of key levels. For example, if we look at the 4-hour, we have this downtrend here, and I'm expecting, off the 4-hour, I think a clean break of this low here, about 3,009, 3,010 or so. Yeah, it'll drive us down. We have levels down here first, 2980, 82, and then there was another level here. Was it? Yeah, we got this level down here. So right around 29.54, 29.50 range. So yeah, a lot of key levels. So we have a few stops to make, but once we make this massive run up, we're kind of consolidating here. But hey, who's to say this thing can just rip up, you know? But I still believe that gold needs a bigger correction. So it's not going to be a straight shot down. It's going to start trickling down, break a level, test support, come back up, and so on. But I think eventually in the next couple of weeks, I think we'll end up down here, or at the very least at 2980 right here, before we get a push back up. All right, so for now, gang, we're gonna wait on candle closures, right? So let's see, we're on the 4 hour here. All right, so 4 hour, 14 minutes left. It's looking bullish here, so it's possible we'll get that play. Let me mark the levels again. All right, so we have this area right here, and we have this support right here. All right, so I'm gonna wait and see. I would really prefer to get the push up if we can, and take sales around this area here. Stops will probably be above the wick high here, and then wait for the drop. But let's see how it prints, because there's a key area here. You see this little resistance level right here. It turns out that that's the I think the 61.8 Fibonacci. Actually, it's like it's in between there, and it's rejecting there at that price level. So it's possible, no bottom wick here. 13 minutes left. It's still bullish here with no bottom wick. Next candle either could come down, make the bottom wick, and then flip and continue to make the high here before we drop, or we can get the push up and then later come down at least to make the wick and tap this level here. So I'm gonna be looking for preferably a sell from around this range here, as long as we respect it, right? So we'll wait, right? Let's wait on gold. I'll leave this here open because we're gonna be trading somewhere at the top of this range. Or if this thing pushes down and we break out, then we could take ourselves down. All right, gang, so hang tight, and I'll be right back. Oh, by the way, Fluidity, welcome to the stream, my brother. Good to see you here. It's been a while. But I'll be back, gang. I'm gonna get a couple of things done here while we wait for these candles to close. I should be back before the 9 o'clock candle open. All right, gang, we're back here. Let's see. All right, 8 seconds left here. Wow, look at this move up. This will be very interesting here. All right, so we got a new candle open here. Let's see if we drive up a little bit. I might take a sell. If it gives me a steeper wick, I'll take the sells in. Let's see. I would prefer to get up here, but because we don't have the bottom wick, we might come up and then flip. It's around 30.26. Wick the high. Hold on. I want to take the sell. So right here. Let me take a look real quick. I'm very interested in sells over here, but it's super bullish here. Let's see if it gives me 30.26. I might take the sell. It's driving up. Gotta keep pushing up. The 26.4, 5. There we go. Give me a bigger push up. I'm about to see. I might get in here. We have a little resistance right here. Got 8. This thing is like super bullish right now. Only 30 pip stops here. 30.27. All right, I took the sell right here, gang. Yeah. All right, I'm in sells, gang. All right. Let me just set my limits up here. All right, I'll give you the limits in a second. I'm just setting it up here on my account. All right. Here's my entry here. 5. All right, I'll set everything up in a second. First thing is the full TP is going to be at the bottom of the range. Stops are going to be above resistance here. Just above that wick right there. About 30.33 or so. Yeah. All right. Got 30.27.25 was my entry. All right, that's our trade there. Yeah, the Oanda price is slightly off from my broker, but that was my entry. It's only like a 2 pip difference. All right, let's see how this plays out here. Let me put up all the info here for the trade. There might be potential pineapples too. If we come up here to this level, I'll take a pineapple there. All right, that's the trade, gang. Take a look at the NASDAQ. See what that's looking like. Yeah, it's not doing much here either. I might be inclined to take sells if it comes and taps this level up here, but again, during Asia, I don't really trade the indices like that. Besides the drop, yeah, it's like 140, 100, 145, 40, 140 something pips to come right back down here. So come up, tap here, and then push down and tap this support here and fill the gap. We should be good to go. I'm currently in profit here right now, but let's see. All right, we're running about 10 pips in profit, 10, 11, 11 pips in profit. Here we go. All right. Nice. All right, if we flip bearish here, once we get the candle to flip bearish, we'll be up about, I would say about 18 pips. I'll probably go break even at that point. Wait for the drive down to come and make a wick for this candle down here. Let's see. See if we're gonna flip bearish or is it gonna push up a little more, be in some minor drawdown, and then we'll look to manage risk up here. Let me adjust this right here. American politics. You say you're stuck in 11 for sell. Not understanding what you mean. Like, what was your end? You said, oh, you're stuck in 11. What do you mean? Like down here? Like, oh, you took a sell down here. Is that what you're saying? What I would say is, I mean, you're in some heavy drawdown, but if your lot size, if your what you leveraged on the account, if it's not too much, depending on your balance, you know, I would say a closure above this level here. You know, like I said, we might come up and grab this wick, but it's possible we can get a turn down here. See how we had this high, then a lower high, come down. Now this could have been the lower high here. We took a wick entry right here at the wick. You know, it depends on how much you're willing to risk. I think it's you're too deep in drawdown. There we go. We're coming down here, gang. All right, we flip bearish here. What are we up? Ooh, going back bullish. Yeah, but we're up about, is that about 15 pips? Need a, I want to get a steeper push down here. Come on, go, give me the flip. Yeah, we would have gone bearish and come down just a little bit more, maybe 20 pips. I would have gone break even, but I'll hold on to it for a little bit. I think we get a steeper bottom. Where gold is trying to move up here. Yeah, this if you took a sell here at what 30,011, if that's what I'm understanding, unless you saw it off a different time frame. I mean, there were was it the 15 that closed below maybe? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we haven't had any closures down there. I mean, you probably just jumped in maybe when it dropped down here, but not sure. You know, there weren't any closures, not even on the smaller time frames. We're running about 12 pips, 13 pips in profit right now. Waiting to see if we can get a bigger push down. Let's see if gold's gonna get bearish here. It looks like we are here. Let's see. What's this right here? 19 pips. All right. Yeah, so we had about 20 pips there. All right, I went break even here, gang. Went break even at 20 pips. Now I'm just holding here. Let's see here. We're running 20 pips right now. But stops are at break even already, so yeah. You know, the mindset behind the trade it's looking at in this case for me, right? It was an impulse entry, but I'll tell you why and my reasons for it. You know, I could take those profits at 20 pips, but you know, at this point there's no risk on this trade. Previous candle has no bottom wick, or I mean, it has a very small wick, close to nothing. So, you know, once the new 4-hour opened, we ripped up first, right, with no bottom wick. So once we made that wick, I took the wick entry here, and now we're flipping down, and I think we can still make a move down. We do have resistance right here, small resistance, big resistance up here, the major resistance. But looking at the price action here and these candles right here, how we rejected and got that big push down, we're coming back up and basically nearly tapping that area here and then getting rejection. It gives me the notion that we could, make a bit of a push down. Even if we're going to come up and tap this level up here, we can probably grab a few pips on the way down here. But let's see. Yeah, I'm at break even. If we get taken out at BE here, more likely than not, I might consider waiting here, depending on how long it'll take for gold to push up to the top of the range, and then we can look for sells up here. But if we're gonna get that reversal again, basing it off this high, right? Come down, make a lower high, lower low. I would expect a lower high here, and then come down. Let's see. We're in it, gang. The previous 4 hour did close bullish though. Let me see. Okay, we got a nice bullish closure. Gapped up, came down, filled the gap, and then ripped up. So this could just be the bottom wick for the 4 hour. To continue to flip up. If we re-break the current 4 hour highs here, if it does flip bullish and re-breaks its own high, then we should tap the level up here. But like I said, I'm expecting a nice wick down or a full out drive down. All right, you can see here we're running about 22 pips here. If you're happy with your profits, listen, 22 pips, hey, you can grab that and jump out. It's perfect. But at the very least, go break even, eliminate any risk. So now it's house money now. All right, gold's trying to push back up. I would have thought it would have given us a steeper wick than this. We should come down at least 30, 40 pips. We still can. Will we survive? Looks like we're gonna get tapped out here. I'm still in it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still in it here. All right. Let's see. Oh, almost. Ooh. All right, stop me out here. All right. All right, we hit that BE there. Looks like gold wants to push up. All right. Took me out with $5. Hmm. All right. Yeah, it ran for about 22 pips, but didn't give us a steeper wick. It might still do that, but we got tapped out. Let's just kind of wait, see how this plays out. Maybe we can get a bigger push up and take a better entry up here and still get that play on the down. But hopefully, maybe around this level up here. Excuse me. Yeah, keep an eye on it now. I'm gonna reattempt that move. It was a good move though. Good, quick impulse entry. Just kind of get the pull down here. Like I said, we saw about 22 pips. I think was the high we saw on that trade, and it flipped up and took us out. But no big deal. No big deal. We can wait for a better entry up here. Patience is key, man. I've learned to be very patient with the markets. Just because my particular idea was for it to come down, make a wick for this candle, doesn't mean it's gonna do it now. I mean, this thing can tap up, maybe even break this. Like I mentioned before, we have this liquidity. It could come up here and just come up, grab that liquidity, and then drive down. That would be ideal to get an entry up here. But I play the resistance level here, so anywhere around this area here, even slightly below it, I look for my entries with the stops will probably be above this wick up here. But let's see. If we do get the push up, we got to see how it's going to react at this level here. And if we get the wick to come down and get that level respected, then we can look for an opportunity to execute. Fluidity holding them by, boy, that's what's up. Yeah, it's running good. Wow, you probably caught that off this wick, my man. Very good impulse entry here, Fluidity. Yeah, did you get that off the? Was it off the? What time frame did you take that trade off? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't see myself taking this off the 1 hour, but maybe. Oh yeah, that's a good entry, man. Incredible. Boom, and then that ride up. That's fantastic, man. Beautiful move up. Yeah, it's starting to come up now. It's at 3,028 and change now. Starting to get a nice move to the upside here. Start to come down. Let's say this candle flips bearish. I'll look to take an entry at the break of the current candle lows here and write it down. This candle, after making this top wick, it could flip bearish here. Let's see. Either that or wait for an entry right about this level right here. I'm looking for sells, man. Looking to sell gold. Hey, Shorty, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the stream, cuz. I don't know if you caught that, Shorty. We took a impulse entry. We took a sell when this candle came up, make a top wick. Took a sell right up here, but yeah, you can rewind the stream a little bit and just watch out. But we hit BE on it. Now I'm waiting to see if we're either gonna drive up or wait for the candle to flip, and then we can take our entry at the break of the candle lows right here. Let's see. Oh, you missed it? Yeah, if you rewind the stream a little bit, you'll probably catch it, or you can watch it later on. I'm waiting to see if we can push up here or flip bearish, either or. Hey Jose, what's up, brother? What you looking to sell? Well, I'm looking at gold at the moment, and what do I have in mind? Okay, so what I have in mind is potential sells from this level here, as long as we remain below. Yeah, I might consider impulse entry here because I'm anticipating that rejection down to this level. So if I do take the impulse entry, I'll have a short leash on it, maybe 50, 60 pip stops, and then the range fill all the way down here. But I'm waiting to see if we get price to come up to this resistance level here, or if this current candle, I mean, it's 27 minutes. I'm on the 1 hour chart. If this candle were to flip bearish and re-break its own low, I'll look to take the entry right there, and then probably start making the move down from there. But it's currently bullish here, so let's see. Previous 4 hour as well, we got a nice strong bullish closure. This candle made a small bottom work here, and then it kind of drove up. It's now reversing. So if this 4 hour after making the top wick flips bearish and starts to come down, we might see it come all the way down here, or at least grab this wick down here. Let's see. We gotta wait. That's kind of what I'm waiting on. That's what I have in mind, is either a test of this level to take our sells, or the flip of this candle here. NZD CAD. I have that. Let me look at that. I don't remember the last time I traded the NZD CAD. Let me see. What do you have on it? You got in at 81 or 81.870. Oh, nice. You're in profit here. You're in profit. What is my Yeah, you caught this whole flip right here. No bottom wick, previous candle. Is there a gap here? Yeah, it's like gap, like half a bit. All right, so yeah, your double top came down, broke. Yeah, you broke the lows here, but kind of bounced back up. All right. So NZD CAD, you had this low here, tapped, pushed up, formed this double top, and now coming down, but it failed to break the neckline here. But it kind of cracked below and made this move up. But this is what I see here. Just it's a short, quick analysis. Look at this. So you're getting these like this downward trend, and then now you just came up and tapped there, and now you're flipping. If you re-break these lows right here, I would say, or at least, what the neckline is, I think you're going to get a nice move down. That big red one on the 30-minute. Yeah. Oh, no top wick. Yep. Came up, made the top wick, and now you're coming down. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think this has potential to move down, but you got to break this level. After making this head and shoulders pattern here, you take out the neckline right here, this thing should go. Should definitely get a strong move down. Yeah, look at that. All right. Congratulations, bro. You're making some bread. That was a nice move. NZD CAD. All right, the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at this real quick while we wait for gold to do its thing. Damn, man, I want this gap fill right here, but like I said, it might come up, tap this level, or we might get a bigger move up. But I'm noticing there's two fair value gaps here. All right, let's see. Let me see if I could mark them up. This is supposed to be higher, right? And right there. All right, so we have one right in between these candles here. No, this one got invalidated. And we have another one here. Trying to right there. So right at this wick here and this wick here. So there's two fair value gaps, right, on this move down. So it's possible we can, want to test this one or potentially the second one down here. You took partials. Nice move. Yeah, secure those profits, bro. Take your partials and go break even, my man. And gold stalling still. All right. Let's stay patient. I'll try to stay on stream a little bit longer than usual just to see if we can get our entry. I'm looking to go hard here because I'm okay with the risk I'm gonna take, but it's price action will tell me, this level has been respected several times here. I mean, we got a little bit of a breakout, but this choppiness here right around that level, rejection, 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 rejection. So when we come back up here, a couple of things. Once you keep testing the level and poking holes into it, eventually it'll probably break out, and that's possible, right? Then we have other levels that we can look for sells from, right above here. So that 30, 40, whatever this is up here. Let me trend line. Wrong line. Give me a second. Yeah. So if we break out, not only will we grab liquidity here, grab this wick here, we might push up to this level here and then get the drop. So if that's the case, if we get the breakout here, I might be inclined to take the buys up. But again, I'm bearish overall. If that were to happen, more likely than not, I'll probably just wait, make an attempt, come up halfway. Once it grabs the wick here, I'll probably take my first entry and then do like a dollar cost average and just start, looking for sells as it trickles up. If it does, take pineapple entries on the way down. All right, looks like we might flip that. Nah, it's not yet. Yeah, we got 19 minutes, 20 minutes left on this candle, and it's dancing. It hasn't reflipped, hasn't rebroke the lows. but it's just kind of dancing around this price here. Let's see, it might flip. This was the move I was waiting for earlier. Just hit our break even, and what I did was I kind of waited to see what's going to come up higher, but it looks like it wants to reflip bearish here. Um, all right, so this is so close here, gang. I'm gonna have a sell stop at the break of the. Oh, let me get it right here. Let me set it up. Hold on one sec. All right, I gotta activate it, gang. All right, dang, I have to do it quick. All right, all right. So I'm in here. Yeah, again, my target is the bottom of the range here, but my stop loss is gonna be at the top of the current candle high. So I'll leave it at 30.29. Leave the 30.29 off. I'll give it 2 more pips just to give us some wiggle room. All right, gang, we took sells here at the break of the lows. I'll take my chances right here. Yeah, so this is the way I look at these trades. So what, right? We made a bottom wick earlier when we got in. We were running in profit, made this wick here. Then it comes up, makes a top wick, but reflips bearish, right? And rebreaks its own low. You know, the chances of it coming back up to rebreak its own high, you know, it's possible, but it's unlikely. You know, it's one of those high probability trades, but it can happen, right? We can get stopped out here, but I'll take my shot. We rebroke the lows here. I took my entry right there, and now we wait and see if it's gonna start coming down. That's what a impulse entry. So now we wait, right? That's about it's not 50, it's a 40, about 47 pip stop loss, and then the TP's down here about 90 pips or so. Yeah, that's it. So if this candle now, let's say we get the bearish closure, right? Assuming this thing starts to drive down here, and we get the bearish closure in the next 16 minutes, then, you know, 15-minute, we're down here, let's say, the new candle might come up, make a top wick, and then continue to drive down. That's the expectation, right? That's based on experience. That's how the market pretty much does its thing. So now we'll see, right? It's all in the hands of probability now. All right. All right, let me update this information here. Yeah, And when it comes to trading like that, you take those entries, and these things happen fast, because you want to jump in, um, when the candles are printing and doing what they need to do, and that's when you want to take your entry. So I have everything at the click of a button. So then I'll update all the info afterwards. All right, so our entry was up 34. What was it? Dot 8.847. Let's say dot 84. All right. That's our trade, gang. Now we just wait, right? It's all in the hands of probability. I've taken this trade many times. Like I said, has a 85% win rate for the most part, but it's based on, like I tell you, the candle behavior, right? So not only do we have no bottom wick here, but it's how it made the bottom wick first earlier. We came down, made that bottom wick, and then we started driving up. We broke the previous candle highs and came up, made this wick, right? But before the candle got a chance to close, we left this nice wick up here and we flipped bearish, re-breaking its own low. That's a very bullish indication, based on price action. So we should get a drive, right? We should get a drive down, and we'll manage our risk as the trade develops. We'll go break even when we need to, and but 47 pip stop loss is very low risk, as long as you don't over leverage, right? If you use a crazy lot size, and that's on you. You should know what you're willing to risk. All right, let's see if we can start driving now. This could be it right here for us. All right, well, we're running about 6 pips in profit right now. Not bad. See if we could keep driving down. I want to come down and make this wick here. That was originally the plan, but we got taken out at BE. And then again, when it came up here, I was just waiting to get the entry a little bit higher. But since we got the flip and the break of the current lows, then we took the entry there. Still good. All right. I'm running about 9 pips in profit. 10 pips. All right. 10 pips in profit. And counting. Let's see. It's driving on. We're running, what is that, 12 pips now. 12 pips profit. See if we could drive it down a little bit further, though, before, but hopefully it won't flip on us. We got 10 minutes left on this candle. A bearish close here would be very nice. So hopefully we'll close bearish. And gold wants to drive down, but we're stuck in this range. I mean, this range is this is terrible, horrible. Like I said, this candle, it's very unlikely it'll reflip to break its own high. Not only because once the candle's behavior does these kind of movements, a lot more likely than not, it's gonna remain below of course, the high, right? But also we have about 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes. So, like I said, market does what it wants. This thing in the last minute, it can just drive all the way up. But there's not that much volume during Asia. I could see that more happening, higher chance of happening, during times of higher volume, like New York session or London session. All right. This trade is in profit, gang. If you guys, you know, are shaking in your boots, you have time to get out right now. I'm not even hold it. I know what I'm risking. I'm risking less than 1% on my account here. Um, the risk reward for me is about a little under 1% at full TP, but all right, 7 minutes. This candle closes. Let's see if you know, get that closure. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Help support the channel. I appreciate it. It's dancing around, but let's see. If we get that closure, then we'll see that it formed this kind of a resistance right here. Again, and also, just like we talked about earlier, we have this high. Came down, lower high, lower low. This could be the lower high, and then we can just come down and tap the bottom range, or finally break below and continue to drive down. It's possible. Goldie, goldie, goldie. What's the move here? And we got a little over 4 minutes left. We're gonna get a bigger push down here. I definitely want to get a bottom wick here. I don't want this thing to close without a bottom wick. If we close without a bottom wick, I'll go break even immediately. Let's see. Hopefully, will give us a little bottom wick. But we are running, what is that? 15 pips here. Actually, 17 pips. Yeah, we are driving though. All right. I think we peaked at 18 pips profit. I'll let the candle close, but I want to see. Might go break even soon here. It's driving down nicely though. $12 pips now. With 2 minutes left. All right, got a nice push down here. Let's see how it develops. Yeah. I want to see at least come down, make the wick down here for this candle here. Hopefully get push all the way down. We'll see. Running, we're up 12 pips right now. 13. All right, 1 minute left on this candle. Let's see how it closes, and next candle might unless we rip down right away, it might come up, make a top wick first, and then flip. Like I told you, this candle, once it made the top here and it flipped and rebroke its own low, it never came back up to re-break its own high. So, we got that rejection here. We've got a nice push down here. Next candle might give us a bit of a top wick, right? And then we should see continuation, but I'll see. Would have had a steeper close here. I would have gone break even, but the next candle wick could come up and tap us out at BE. But again, you can close now, gang. Any of you, if you're in profit and you want to close now, it's pretty good. We got decent amount of pips here. 12, 13 pips. It was at 18 pips at one point. All right, let's take a look at this candle here. I'm expecting a top wick here and then a continuation down. See, it hasn't broken the current lows. Once this candle comes down and re-breaks the previous low here, then I'll go BE there. Let's see how steep this wick is gonna be. All right, beautiful. We got a top wick. There it is. Let's see. Once it flips and re-breaks the previous low, then we'll go BE there. Unless it drives up and takes us out. I feel like there is a little bit more volume at the moment, so it's good. At least the market is moving slightly here. See, we get the flip here. If this candle flips bearish, let's say re-breaks its own low and then takes out the previous lows, it should drive down nicely at that point, but you have to get this candle to flip. Right now is right at break even. Again, any of you in this trade and want to get out, now's the time. I'm just gonna hold here. He's driving up on us now. Let me see. I might be interested in some pineapple entries here. Might take a little bit more risk here. I mean, this is me again, gang. You guys know what you're willing to risk, but I might make adjustments here. Let's see. We do drive up to grab this wick here. I'm still interested in the cells in this area up here. And we might be able to take a pineapple entry and write it down. What's that? Let's see. USD 75. More like 110 pips. That's huh. All right, I adjusted my stop loss up here to give us some room to see if it'll come and tap this resistance and still drive down. And then, like I said, I'll probably be interested in some pineapple entries up here. So, yeah, stop loss now is up here. Again, this is the original stop loss at 3029.25. You still manage your risk from there. I'm gonna adjust my stop loss. I'm looking at that other move. That's if we even come up here, you know. This could be just a top wick and this thing could still flip. But I made that adjustment. Wait for the move down here. If you don't want to hold it like too big of a drawdown, for example, you can have your stops just above the wick here. That's a good stop loss right there. And that's where we had it actually. And again, I moved it above this wick high here. Not gonna do the top of the wick here because it's too steep even for me. That stop loss. So I'm just gonna see what it does at this resistance level. If it breaks above, and we'll look to manage risk at that point. But if we do come up, I'm expecting a test of this level, and then we can potentially sell it from there. So I'll hold off and wait here. Still in this trade though. You know? There's about a 78 pip stop loss at this point. Actually, 700. What is it? 76%. 76 pips. So 0.25% risk. All right, so we got about 43 minutes to this candle, 44 minutes to this candle closure here. Let's see what'll come up here. I'll look for pineapple entry here, probably 30.440. Usually have that seller in there. Come up here. Stops will be the same over here. Yeah, we come up and get activated here around actually yeah, that'll be the trade up there. If we come up to that level, I'll take a second entry there. We're currently about 18 pips in drawdown. Not a bad drawdown. Right, gang, hang tight. I'm gonna take a quick break. Be right back. All right, gang. Let's see where we're at. Nice, pulling up here. I gotta find out what else to do. Come up to that level, then it'll activate this trade here, and then I'll be looking to hold those trades down. NASDAQ making them move up here. Might come to these fair value gaps right here. This thing could come up. I might consider a sell if we I prefer this one here. I'll take a sell down here. See what happens. Yeah, we got about 29 minutes to this candle closing. Let's feed. So we made a nice push up here. Looking to come up here. Might get activated on a pineapple soon. All right, here we go. Will we get activated on our pineapples here? It's getting close right here. Coming right up to that resistance line there. Will we get activated here? Oh, I got activated here, gang. All right, so I'm activated at our pineapple entry, so. World. All right. As basically anticipating this resistance will hold here and then push price back down. But from this pineapple entry, our stop's a little bit higher though, but still risking less than 1% combined here either way. Let's see. Right now we're in draw on our first entry here. We're down about 52 pips in drawdown, and we just took another entry here. But the pineapple's in profit about 2 pips at the moment. It's right around break even. Let's hold and see what happens. This candle has, what is that? 17 minutes left. Driving apart here. Oh, get stopped out. Oh, yeah, this one got stopped out. Okay, so we got stopped out on the first trade here. See if the pineapple will hold. All right. So this one hit the stop loss here. You see, we'll survive this. Yeah, it's probably gonna come up and grab this wick here if we don't pull back down here. Yeah, this one was that? There's a 35 pip stop loss here, so it's a short risk. Gonna see if we'll pull back down. This was a excuse me. This was a nice bounce from here. You get this bounce all the way up, and now it's ripping above resistance here. And yeah, we ripped that. What was that? This is here. Yeah, we might come up at least this range, or more likely than not up here. We'll see. Zoom in a little more. I'm still holding this trade here. 'Cause update this here actually. Let's change it to low. So we already hit stop loss. $13 left. Well, we made the wick here, and now we're kind of pulling back down. And like I said, it's a good sign if we close below the resistance here, and we can tell that level of respect. So unfortunately, we got wicked out. The other trade, the first trade got tapped out at stop loss here, but this one is still valid here, and we're still holding it here. Let's see if we can get the closure below, and then the next candle start flipping down. Yeah, we're only 5 pips in drawdown on this trade now. 1 pip. Yeah, we'll find out if we're gonna need to manage risk here in the next 10 minutes. Seven minutes. Earlier when we got in on the break of the lows on this candle here, um, I think we ran about 18 pips. Was it 18 some pips? And I hesitated to go break even there because I wanted to see if we can push a little further down. But again, I didn't do that because I told you guys I was willing to take the risk, right? You know, I was risking less than 1%. Took a pineapple here, and even if we get stopped out here on the pineapple on the second entry here that we currently have running, Yeah, I'll take the L there. And again, it's part of the game, right? We can't win them all. Let's see. This yeah, a little less than 5 minutes, but let's see. We already pushed up, and we're starting to come down here. What I'm interested in seeing if we're not stopped out by then is, are we gonna close below this resistance level right here? If we close above, then yeah, probably more likely to not get stopped out. It's probably gonna come up and try to grab this wick here and make its way up to that level right here, about 30.47 perhaps. But yeah, it'll be the first break above, and then this whole choppiness here. So it's a key break if we break it, right? Still kind of dancing around there. All right, 3 minutes left. Will we close above or pull back and close below? Yeah, 2 minutes left on this candle. Still above that resistance. A little bit of a push down there with 1 minute 40 seconds left. All right, we got about 45 seconds left here. Looks like it's gonna close above here. If we do, there is a chance that next candle will come down, make a bottom wick. If that bottom wick comes down, and we can probably get out at BE, maybe with a few pips in profit. If it comes down, if the wick is steep enough, this thing could just continue to rip up. Yeah, this nice bullish move up, and now breaking this resistance level is super key here. Let's see if this bottom wick can come down at least into profit for us. We're good, but if not, you know, probably yeah. So we clearly got a breakout here. So we got this breakout. If this candle flips and re-breaks the previous high, we should see a further drive up. And I think that target of what is it? This up here, 3,046, 47. Yeah, right here we were for about 30 pips. I'm sorry, not 30. 3 pips. We draw down here. I come in and hit our break even. If it does, I'm gonna close it there. Once I go in the blue here, unless it reflips. Yeah, this is just the bottom wick here for this thing to continue to drive up, I'm sure. Just want to see if the wick comes down and we'll flip it back up here. All right, came so close to our BE right here. Drill down here. Only drill down 7 pips. 7, 6 pips, 5 pips. Let's see. See if we get a nice push down. Yeah. Nice fluidity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got that nice buy from down there. Yeah, you had told me this was a good entry. Yeah, this thing is still running, and it broke resistance now, fluidity. So it's likely that it'll come up to this target up here. I want to see if we get a wick that'll bring us into profit here. Like just get a nice bottom wick. But wow, look at that. We're only 4 pips in drawdown here. 3 pips. 3 pips is just about BE. So let's see if I can. All right, gang. I closed there. Yeah. All right. I closed it there with $3 in profit. All right. Well, at least I didn't lose on that trade. It came down just enough to put me in the profit side, and I closed out with $3 there. Because more likely than not, this thing is just making a bottom wick to flip and continue to move up here. Yeah. So first trade break even. Second trade hit our stop loss here, up here. For those who adjusted it, if it took you out at the first stop loss down here at 30.29, then a little bit less risk there, but it's still good. Still good. And then this third trade, which was the pineapple entry, once this candle closed, it pulled down here and put us into the positive here. So I closed it in profit, small profit. So but now it's starting to drive down here. So after this breakout here, I mean, this could easily be a fake out, and then eventually, who knows, this thing might drive all the way down now. That's possible. So, but we're out. We're out for now, and yeah, I'll wait for pre New York and New York session and make that loss back. So yeah, a break even. Well, two break evens because this third trade was I closed it at BE. So yeah. Yeah, no big deal, gang. We gave it a shot. Didn't work out for us, and you know, we deal with it. Let's get rid of this right here. So, like I said, we got the breakout, but this thing many times we get these fake outs. In this case, on the downside, you see this one closed below, then next candle they just ripped all the way up. This candle looked closed below, then we got some bullish movement, another fake out. This one closed below, another fake out. So a lot of fake outs happen. So who's not to say, although we broke this resistance here, that price won't want to come back down here. So let's see if it does flip. If it re-breaks the previous highs here on the 1 hour, yeah, you might grab liquidity up here and potentially hit this target up here, which is fantastic. I'll be a seller around this price here if it makes it all the way up here. But yeah, gang, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys hanging out, tuning in. Fluidity, Jose Trades, Shorty, American Politics, all you guys, I appreciate you guys, and yeah, we'll get back on the horse tomorrow for my New York for the New York session. My platform members, we will be trading the New York session, and yeah, be ready for any signals. Be ready to trade, and I'll take a look at the markets tomorrow morning and see where we're at, and see where gold is at that time. Quick look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, no bottom wick here. We're kind of trickling up, but remember I marked these fair value gaps right here. We might get a little bit of a correction. If we got this massive move today or yesterday, and now we're kind of making a bit of a correction, so we might tap it around this level, maybe around this level, anywhere in this middle here, and then I should see that reverse down. So let's see. For those who want to trade the NASDAQ during London and pre-New York, you get some significant volume, so we might get that move up here before we get the rejection down. So gang, again, I appreciate all you guys. Everybody have a great and blessed and safe night, and yeah, we'll be back at it tomorrow. All right, God bless. Peace out. All right.